Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. And if you're new here, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, do all those good things. This is Motor Mike Media, and as always, I'm Motor Mike, and today we're going to talk about old cars. Are they better than new cars? I'm not just talking about affordability, but kind of practicality. It's a little bit of everything. Now, a new car nowadays is getting more and more expensive. New car vehicles being sold in the United States are almost averaging around $40,000, which is insane. And a lot of people, including myself, just can't afford a new car. And the few cheap cars that are brand new, well, that's still a very big payment. They get full coverage insurance and all that other stuff. So my recommendation is, if you're someone like me or even a young driver, an older car is probably the way to go. So let's check out my car first. This is my 1988 Ford Bricknose F250. I like this thing. I paid $4,500 for it. Now, obviously, when times were different, I could have got it at a cheaper price. But this is a good used car with some simple features, which are nice, because the more simple a vehicle is, well, the less things they can break on it. Just to be honest with you guys, I love new cars. They're more comfortable. They're more fuel efficient. They have way more power and so many cool features that make day-to-day living just, well, awesome. But having a simple vehicle, knowing that if something does break, I can probably fix it myself on the cheap, well, it's just a nice reinsurance, to be honest. So let's look at a few things that older cars have that new cars just don't. We'll start off with my steering wheel. These are old steering wheels. Cars from the 80s and beyond basically had these super narrow steering wheels. In the 90s, they got fatter and fatter. But these are kind of cool. They feel good in your hands. This was before airbags, but you have a nice horn. And other cool things you don't get nowadays are the vent window, or the smoker's window, depending on what you want to call it. That is awesome. Super easy. One turn, you push, you direct, done. This thing will direct air right at you, just like air conditioning. A lot of days when it's the low 70s, I will use that instead of air. Now in my Jeep, if I had air, I would be using it around 72 degrees. In this vehicle, awesome airflow. These are awesome. I wish they would come back. Obviously they can't because aerodynamics and all that stuff. Super simple. It's not going to break. It's not a electronic thing that a gizmo is going to break. It's super simple. Just a piece of glass, hinges. That's it. Other things, well, crank windows. There are still modern cars that have crank windows, but it's just another thing that's just super simple. The only thing that could break is this little gear. Super easy to replace. And, well, when you don't have all these electronics, you don't have to worry about it. My Jeep has powered windows, and sometimes I get worried. Some of the windows get slow, they make some sounds. And yes, it is easy to remove that Jeep panel as well. But having some bare things is always good. Alright, now climate controls. Now, a lot of people will remember this. The old cables, man. You just slide it, put it to where you want, easy to use. Nowadays, a lot of this stuff is buried into a touch screen. Now, some companies are getting better where they do have hard touch buttons at the bottom for easy access to home pages and stuff like that, or even on the sides for heated seats and stuff like that. I wish I had a vehicle with heated seats and cooled seats. But just remember, in the future when those new cars get old, all that stuff is going to cost a lot of money. A screen? Well, if that breaks and all your features are buried in here, you're not going to have those features, and getting a new screen is going to cost a lot. Something like this, you just pop off the top, fix the cable. Nice, simple, and cheap. And while we're here, we'll look at the lights. Now, old cars, you pull, the lights come on, you push, and they're done. Nice and simple. Then they went to a knob in like the 90s. Nowadays, it's all automatic, which is a cool feature to have. But if your sensor breaks, you can't go automatic, you still got to turn the knob. So it's just one of those little things. And something that's cool that a lot of people don't even realize is, well, here's the wipers. You just turn this knob, and that turns your wipers on. Nowadays, everything's on a turn stock. This just has turn signal and gauge selector. So it's just a cool little retro thing that you just don't see nowadays. You gotta go under the hood when you have a truck like this. You just don't see too many big block V8s nowadays. Now, this engine, 230 horsepower, about 390 pound-feet of torque. Is it fast? No, not at all, but it moves the truck very adequately. Now, this is not fuel efficient. I am basically getting between 6 and 7 miles to the gallon. New trucks, way more power. New trucks, a lot more tech under here. This is very simple, very bare bones. The cool thing about it is this vehicle, I can work on it myself. I can learn how to work on a car with an older vehicle. That's the cool thing is, if you're someone that's in the cars, you want to learn how to work on cars, get an old vehicle. It's cheap, easy to learn on. I am learning on how to work on vehicles because of this, because of simplicity. Now yes, there is a lot of hoses and stuff. This was during the emissions era, but I can still have room to get into places. The computers in this is very bare minimum to none basically. There is a little bit of computers, but if you get older than this, very little to nothing in that regard. A lot of stuff is mechanical, easy to use, driven by belts or moving objects. Very easy to learn and use, and I need to replace that module. Now we'll do that in a future video because my wipers do not work at the moment, but because this is an old vehicle, a lot of people have worked on it. Forums, a lot of people tell me how to do things, groups of stuff. I can download manuals to work on vehicles like this, which is a cool thing. I can even go to YouTube and other sources and watch step-by-step processes to work on vehicles. And I just need the bare minimum of tools, and the few tools I don't have, I can go to a hardware store or a mechanical shop and rent those tools. A lot of stuff, you need computers and very expensive tools to work on when you work on modern cars. Alright, I have to talk about it. Old cars and this super overboosted power steering is awesome. I can just use a finger or two and turn the vehicle with no problem. It's just very relaxing. Oh look, I don't know if you guys can see it, but we have some deers joining us. But anyway, powered steering, super overboosted, super easy to do. I can just use a finger, which is a cool thing to see. Now this is a truck, but it's a bench seat. Still in good shape, super comfortable. Any of the old cars from the 80s, early 90s, and even before the 80s, those seats were like couches. You sit down, super easy to get relaxed. Nowadays, a lot of seats are hard and a little uncomfortable, to be honest. But driving an old car, it has soul, it has character, and it's just a little bit more enjoyable than some new cars. Alright, so we made a transition to my Cherokee. Now you can see we've moved up in time. There's a little bit more tech and features in this vehicle, but it's still very affordable. We have airbags now. We have a more sophisticated radio, CD and cassette. And if you're someone that wants more music and stuff like that, older cars are so easy to replace the head unit. You can put anything you want in there. A touch screen, one of those fold-out screens, or just nice faceplate, and you can easily go over to the door panels and add new speakers. On modern cars, you can't really do stuff. But you can see climate controls, they're a little bit different compared to my truck, but still very simple. And that's basically the premise of old cars. They're nice and simple, easy to work on, cheaper to work on compared to modern cars with all that tech and features. In the future, when they get older, it's going to be a lot of money to keep them up to date, to keep them running, and you worry about how much money you're going to spend in the overall run when you get that new car for that expensive price. And 5, 6, 7 years on the road when the warranty's gone, how much will it nickel and dime you at that point? Alright, so like I said with my truck, it's harder and harder to find V8 engine vehicles, especially big blocks nowadays. And when you do, they're very, very pricey. So if you want one, get them used. Same thing with this, a inline 6 engine. Now there are a few newer inline 6 engines, but they're very expensive to buy those vehicles. And Chrysler, or Stellantis, is currently making a new inline 6. And any inline 6 engine, it's a little bit simpler to work on because you have room. Even a 4-cylinder engine, you have a little bit more room, it's easier to get the stuff, and like I keep saying, keeping things nice and simple, well, it's kind of better with used old cars. So what I'm trying to get at is, if you're someone that's a first-time car buyer, maybe you're someone that's on a budget, or maybe you're an enthusiast, you want a car with a manual transmission, and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg, having a car from the early 2000s, the 90s, or the 80s might be right for you. Maybe you just want to learn how to work on a car, well, one of those older cars is probably a good place to start. And yes, new cars, they're more efficient, they're way more space on the interior, they have all these gizmos and gadgets, very safe, but in the future, a lot of this stuff was going to cost you an arm and a leg. Even modern cars that are just a few months old or a few years old have problems with screens. Sometimes they just go black, it might be for a few seconds, and then they come back on. Sometimes they go off and you have to turn the car off before it comes back on. Turn it off, turn the car back on. That's a problem. A lot of vehicles have so many features in that screen that if it dies, well, you don't have those features, especially with digital gauge clusters and stuff like that. They're so cool, don't get me wrong. If I could afford a new car, I'd probably always go used, but something that's a few years old, that might be the way to go, but I worry about cars when they get older, especially when we have more and more tech. In the future, cars will be EVs, and people like me are going to miss combustion engines, big V8s, inline 6s, even 4-cylinders. It's going to be a shame when they're all gone, so enjoy them now while we can. But that's all I have for you guys today. I thank you for watching, and if you haven't already and you want to, please check out my channel. I keep trying to give you guys more and more content. I talk about cars, trucks, crossovers, and SUVs, combustion engines, just like my cars and EVs, a little of everything. But please, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you guys can stay up to date with the latest and greatest from my channel. And as always, I truly, truly appreciate you guys for watching. And I'll see you all in the next one.